We have a lot to cover here on the show today, but unfortunately, it's going to start off with some pretty sad news in terms of wins and losses. Let's just be real. The U.S. men's soccer team needs a revamp at this point. What in the world is going on? At Copa America, Team USA loses. They're out. Uruguay wins 1-0. And the early stage collapse is complete. Gregg Berhalter is taking a beating right now on social media. My gosh. And even the analysts right now on television, everywhere, former soccer players from Team USA just crushing this guy. It's the first time the U.S. men's national team has been eliminated from the group stage of a major tournament after winning its first game. My goodness. Also the first time the U.S. men's team was eliminated from the group stage from a major tournament hosted on home soil. It has been a brutal turn of events for Team USA. Gregg Berhalter seems to be in some trouble in terms of coaching.
Just to see the guys' faces in the locker room, and see the emotion of the staff and players. We're bitterly disappointed with the results. We know that we're capable of more. And in this tournament, we didn't show it. It's really as simple as that. I think that, you look at the stage that was set with the fans in this tournament, with the high level of competition in this tournament, and, we should have done better. And, we'll do a review and figure out what went wrong, why it went wrong. But I think it's, it's an empty feeling right now for sure. Well, that's what we're going to take a look at. We're all going to do a review of the whole tournament and see where we fell short. It's obvious that the Panama game hurt us, put us behind the 8 ball. And, I think collectively, the staff, the players, the sporting department, we need to look at where do we improve? How do we do better? It's not the aspirations that we have as a group. We know it's a talented team with big potential, and we didn't show it in this tournament. It's really, I think, about learning from this whole month. It wasn't only Copa America, but it's learning from these high-level games that we're playing pre-tournament and in tournament, and us having the understanding, the collective understanding that the margins are so small, and there's very little, separating any of these teams. And you have to treat every game as the same. When you see the effort tonight that we put in, it's incredible. The guys did a great job. They worked extremely hard, put in a great effort against a really good team. But that needs to be the standard. Every time we step on the field, that needs to be the same effort.
Who knows if Berhalter will be part of this next process. There's a lot of rumors and, some speculation that they could make a change there. Meanwhile, one of the best men's player in the country, Christian Pulisic, talked about the loss yesterday against Uruguay.
Christian, I know how much pride you take in representing the country and the fight tonight from you guys. How would you describe what went down and why you guys fell short?
It's difficult to say right now. Obviously, the emotions are running high, so we had a good start and brought a lot of energy, but at the end of the day, just not enough quality. And I felt like we gave it everything, but just couldn't find the solutions to score.
There was so much physicality tonight. How much frustration is there with the referee?
Yeah, there's a lot. I don't want to talk too much about the ref. It does get frustrating, but that's what this tournament is about. So we just have to do our best to cope with it.
I know it's short, but where do you guys go from here? What do you want to work on moving forward?
Now it's just about getting a little bit of rest and regrouping and finding an identity again, and we have some big things ahead, so we look forward to that.
Thank you, Christian.
Not a ton of optimism, saying what's next, getting rest. Not what you want to hear. All right, let's get to the NBA. Donovan Mitchell looks like he's staying put in Cleveland. New deal, 3 years, $150 million maximum contract extension. That will take him through the 27-28 season. So naturally, that looks to be the future for Spider Mitchell. A lot of speculation as to whether or not he could potentially leave Cleveland. I guess that's somewhat still on the table, but looks like he's staying in Cleveland with that contract. All right, Klay Thompson, we talked about him yesterday on the show. He's got a new destination. It is the Dallas Mavericks, a 3-year, $50 million contract. 13 seasons with Golden State, but his relationship with the club came to an end, and naturally had some other suitors, potentially the Lakers, but chose to go to Dallas. Meanwhile, a very crazy story. The Boston Celtics win the championship, and Wyc Grousbeck, who is part of the majority ownership group in Boston, has announced that they are planning to make the franchise available for sale. That's right. You win a championship and then you sell high. I guess that's what happens. Now, again, it doesn't mean necessarily the team is going to get sold, but the team essentially now is available to be sold. Also, news from the Celtics yesterday, another mega contract extension. This time it is Jayson Tatum, 5 years, 300, folks, $314 million to go along with Jaylen Brown's 285, Drew Holiday's 134, Derek White's 125, and Kristaps Porzingis 60. That's $919 million in contract extensions. Wow. Shohei Ohtani got $700 million, by the way, one guy. Speaking of baseball, the Houston Astros continue to play well, diving themselves back into the playoff picture. They win 3-1 against the Blue Jays yesterday. Jays going the other way. The Mets had an incredible 10th inning. 6 runs. They end up beating the Washington Nationals by a final of 9-7. You can see the Nationals even scored some runs there to come back. JD Martinez hit a 3-run home run. Jose Iglesias hit a 2-run home run. Mets continue to play solid baseball. Also, in case you missed it, the Nationals showed off their prized possession. His name is James Wood. He got called up and made his debut yesterday. He got a base hit in his first at-bat. James Wood is now a major leaguer. He played in the Futures game, by the way, once upon a time. Major League Baseball just announced their roster for the Futures game, which will play in Arlington in a couple of weeks. They also announced, by the way, that as part of the game, they're going to have skills competition before the game, and one of those skills is calling your shot. Imagine that in a baseball game like Babe Ruth. Like, the kids are going to be able to say, I'm going to hit it here and out, and then if you do it, you get points. Pretty cool idea. All right, over to the NFL. Jon Gruden loses a bid for the Nevada Supreme Court to reconsider whether a contract interference and conspiracy lawsuit he filed against the NFL after he resigned from the Raiders should be heard in arbitration. Lost the bid. It is over. Simone Biles' husband, Jonathan Owens, he's an NFL player for the Chicago Bears. He's been given some time off later this month to go to France to watch his wife participate. Really nice, cool story there. He'll be away from just a few days to watch Simone try and get the gold. Also, Bet Rivers is going to remain the only functioning online sportsbook in Delaware for at least the next few months in 2024. There's a new bill to bring 6 other online sportsbooks to the state. It did not pass before the end of June, so no other opportunities there. In the WNBA tonight, we've got a full slate of games. Minnesota Lynx taking on the New York Liberty. Liberty 6-point favorite. Chicago Sky at the Atlanta Dream. Fever back in action tonight, but they're going against the best team, so it doesn't look pretty, at least on paper. Las Vegas, 13-point favorites, and the Washington Mystics at the Los Angeles Sparks. Sparks are 1-point favorites there.